This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena Rolle. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, one of this country's noted philanthropists making an historic visit to Grand Bahama today. Foremost on his mind, exploring Grand Bahama and revolutionizing stem cell research. Joan Davis Rolle reports.
It was a grand welcome to Grand Bahama, first orchestrated by Mother Nature, as a private jet bearing the name of its owner arrived amidst overcast skies and liquid sunshine. On board, international fashion mogul Peter Nygaard and a large delegation from New Providence, including executives of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, touched down for an arrival fit for a king. With the pulsating sounds of goatskin drums echoing the air, the delegation led by the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Dowell, made its way to the private area of the fixed-base facility, where the exuberant philanthropist spoke with members of the media.
This is very, very exciting. What a welcome, you know. I've been in Bahamas for 35 years, and I never been here before, which is shame on me. You know, and I've always been meaning to come here. So this was such a wonderful, wonderful invitation that I had to come here. So I'm very, very thrilled. And what a reception. Wow.
Wow. What are your expectations touring our island, obviously seeing what we have to offer here on the island of Grand Bahama?
Well, the Grand Bahamas probably has a lot to offer. You know, this may be the center for the medical tourism. You know, the stem cell center. It's a perfect location. You know, so that's what I'm here to look at now. You know, this Prime Minister Christie put through a phenomenal legislation. You know, unique in the world. You know, and it's going to revolutionize this whole industry, medical industry. And then now to establish, first of all, Bahamas is the center for it. As to which location in Bahamas, which island in Bahamas now is up for grab, so to speak.
Nygaard further talked about his arrival on Grand Bahama and how it's linked to a personal mission.
I started stem cells when I was trying to find cures for my mother, who I loved very much. And the Western medicine was not able to cure her. In fact, we were sort of thrown out of the Mayo Clinic, which was my clinic. In effect, they could not give her stem cells. And if I would have discovered stem cells a year earlier, I think she'd still be with me. But the laws in the United States, FDA laws, are so restrictive that this is going to take 5 to 10 to 15 years before we're ever able to use it. Meanwhile, people are going to die. And I think I talked about that to Prime Minister Christie some years ago. And I said, if you really want to have medical tourism, I said, you need to get through this. Develop a law that allows all these medicines to be used safely. Keep all the snake oil guys out, you know, and invite all the best medical scientists here, all the best medical doctors here, and all the best patients here in the world. I said, then you really will have something. And you know what? He did it.
Though historic by nature, Nygaard's visit to Grand Bahama comes during a hailstorm of controversy. He then moved to set the record straight.
It's a tragedy that it's been politicized. You know, I think the FNM government doing such a disfavor for this country by taking this stem cell world and making it a political issue. You know, I think every single person in the whole world should be behind it. It's a terrible thing to have the politics go into it like that. And then to spin the word around, the money that I spent on stem cell research to bring it forward like this, the $5 million, is made as if that's the money that I gave to the Prime Minister. It's dead wrong. You know, I want to correct that. I did not do that. I did not give money to the government to get them elected. I spent the $5 million on bringing the stem cell message home, and that's the reason I'm over here right now.
It is hoped that when Peter Nygaard's private jet takes off from Grand Bahama, that he will not only be leaving with fond memories of his visit to this northern island, but he will soon return to help provide the impetus needed to help turn Grand Bahama's economy around. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis Rolle.
Thanks, Joan. A Grand Bahama all-inclusive resort has captured a prestigious award. It is the second win for the resort in as many years. Club Viva Wyndham Fortuna recently received the Travelocity 2012 Excellence Award for service and high occupancy. Resort officials received a similar award back in 2010. In other news, the Families for Justice organization is not letting up in the fight for answers regarding the arrest of 2 police officers 4 years ago. The president is now taking exception to the way the Attorney General's office handled that case. President of Families for Justice, Glenroy Bethel, is calling for the suspension of one of the prosecutors in the Attorney General's office, and it all centers around criminal charges brought against two police officers. In 2009, Dion Morris and Renardo Bethel were charged with gun possession. They were convicted in 2012, but earlier this year, the appellate court dropped all charges against the former officers. Bethel is now alleging that the lead prosecutor in the trial allowed something to happen that he contends should never be permitted, and he is calling for action to be taken by the Attorney General's office.
It was a corrupt practice to allow a witness to sit in the trial who's a key witness. All of the witnesses, police witnesses, were outside of the court. The key witness who the guns was found on, they dropped the charges against him after the close of the trial, almost at the end of the trial. Based on law, had they had called him as a witness at the beginning, all right, then they could have used him.
The witness who gave evidence for the Crown was initially charged with the former police officers, and Bethel believes it was his words that led to the conviction of these officers. The two police officers spent 7 weeks in Fox Hill Prison, but the appeals court, according to Bethel, found no evidence that they were in possession of an illegal firearm.
That is not a good image to have in the fight of crime in this country. For the Office of the Attorney General legal team, a part of the legal team, to operate in such manner. And that's our position right there. Because again, we will not sit back and see. That's not a mistake. These people are supposed to be professional people at what they do. But again, when you did what you did to these officers here, I mean, come on. How many other persons they have done it to?
Now he says they are taking this fight one step further and is placing the prosecutor before the Bahamas Bar Association.
They have all of the information. And to add to what this allegation, we have the facts, we have the proof, we have the documents that prove that he sat in the trial. We have the documents to prove that he listened to the testimonies of every person that was there. We have all of that to prove that he was there. So we send that information to the Bahamas Bar Association. We dialogued with them, and they informed us that they received the complaint. It's official. They also advised us that we should also forward an additional complaint to the Attorney General herself.
While charges have been dropped, the former police officers have not been compensated or reinstated on the force. Now, a senior official in the Office of the Attorney General's office says the accusations against the prosecutor are baseless. Stay with us. The Bahamas tonight. The North